What is going on, everybody? Zach Walker, your Texas local lender. Today, we are going to talk about how do I pick a mortgage lender? What do I do? How do I evaluate? What do I ask? Stay tuned. So today we're going to talk about how to pick a mortgage lender if you're a first-time home buyer. Buying a home is terrifying, if I'm being honest. You've never done it before. You're about to spend $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 on a single item, which you've never done. You're not independently wealthy, and so this is the largest investment you're ever going to make in your entire life. And the one person that matters is the one who's going to give you the money to do it. Why? You're tied to that person for 30 years. Handcuffed, chained, ball and chain, whatever you want to call it, you're stuck with them, and there's nothing you can do about that. When you pick, it is imperative that you make the right decision. So if you're a first-time home buyer, you've never done it before, how do you go about finding the home lender that works best for you? Well, it's just like anything. How many of you go to church? How many of you send your kids to private school or are a part of a club or whatever it is, a voluntary organization? Well, you vet the organization. You figure out, hey, what does this church believe? What does this school teach? Or whatever it is, right? If that's you, how do you go about it? What questions do you ask? What information do you require? It's no different here. And so are all mortgage lenders created equal? The answer to that question is no. There's a couple of very important things that you want to think about. One, do they service their own debt? We service a portion of our loans and sell another portion. And so if you get a loan with us, AMCAP may hold your debt and you may make your payments to us forever, or we may sell your loan. There are other companies that service their own debt, and there are other companies that absolutely service none of their debt. I've seen at the closing table the mortgage be sold to another individual. So even the first payment was made to someone other than the mortgage company. That's okay. None of those are inherently good or inherently bad. But one thing I will say is if it's a company that services their own debt, they have the freedom to be more flexible up front because they're making their money on the long-term hold of your debt using the interest rate to generate their profit. And so they don't have to be as aggressive up front with the fees and all of those types of things. Now, other things to consider are the same questions, like I said, that you would ask before you joined any organization or became friends with somebody. What about this? How many of you are married or have a girlfriend? How did you get to know your spouse or your significant other? Well, we sat down at dinner and we got to know each other. And it was the greatest night of my life. And I knew right then I was going to spend the rest of my life with this woman. The same thing may happen as you meet a lender. You go to lunch with them. They're happy to take you to lunch. Sit down, you start getting to know them. The bottom line is I do business with people that I know, I love, and I trust. My lender in Alabama, before I became a lender, we spent Christmas at his house. He was my best friend in the world. And so it was very easy to have a business relationship as well. Now, if you're in a situation where you know no one and you have no relationships in the lender space, fear not. There are questions to ask, and I'm going to walk you through each and every one of those. The first thing I'm going to ask, how long have you been doing this? The reason for that question is it's going to tell me how good they are with their guidelines and how familiar they are with the process. William Branch, our branch manager here at the William Branch Group, is a genius when it comes to understanding guidelines and how to finagle deals and structure deals in such a way that they benefit the client in the absolute best way. The second question I'm going to ask is how many loans do you do a year? Or what's your volume on an annual basis? Most lenders are very happy to share that information with you. The reason why that matters is it shows you how good they are at what they do. If they do tremendous amounts of volume, then they have the team, they have the support, they have everything behind them to make sure that the process is easy for you. The third question I'm going to ask may be the most important. What kind of technological communication are you going to give me? Now, what do I mean by that? I just bought a house with AMCAP Home Loans, our branch, and it was the most smooth process I've ever experienced. Why, you say? Great question. I'm glad you asked. because I had an app, I had a login, I had a password, and I had communication from start to finish. When I needed to get my documents turned in to the processing department or the underwriting department, I simply uploaded those to a computer, boom, bang, bada bing, bada boom, there they are. They've got everything they need. I could watch the loan. If you've ever ordered a pizza from Domino's and you've got the app, I know, I get it, I'm fat, but you can watch the process, right? And it says your pizza's being made, your pizza's in the oven, your pizza's being boxed, your pizza's being delivered. Same concept with what we do. And so when I'm picking a mortgage lender, that's something I want to know. I want a lender that I can text with, that I can get friendly with, and that, quite frankly, that I don't have to, because the communication is free flowing straight to me. So that's always an important question. What kind of communication, what apps do you have, what technology? These companies should be making the investments in the technology to make sure your experience is as easy as it gets. And finally, I'm gonna ask my realtor. My realtor has done a tremendous amount of business with mortgage lenders, hopefully, all over the place and all over the metro area. And so they're gonna know who's good, who's bad, who does what, who doesn't do what. And they're gonna be able to walk you through the process of saying, hey, talk to this lender, talk to this guy. Hey, they even know your personality. So they're gonna say, hey, this guy's personality will match up with you flawlessly. And he would be a great person to link up with so that you have a like-minded person and someone with a similar personality to walk you through this process. And lastly, you want to know what kind of closing gift you're going to get. I'm just kidding. But in all seriousness, your lender should be sending you something very nice after closing on your first home, because it's a momentous occasion and they should be thanking you for your business. You should be appreciated. You should feel appreciation. You should feel valuable, because you are to these lenders. You're their lifeblood. And remember, you're in charge. You get to choose. You're the consumer. Even though it's a mortgage and it feels like a root canal sometimes, you are in charge. So don't let them walk all over you. Don't let them step on you. Don't let them make you feel stupid. Ask as many questions as you want. Make sure you're informed. Make sure you know what's going on. And so the second time you buy a house, you're a pro, because you had a lender that walked you through the process in depth every step of the way, and that made you better for your experience. Smash the like button, smash the subscribe. Stay tuned for more content every single week. We love you. Hope you have a great day.